Father Flanagan's impact is difficult to really put into words, but a lot is understood by his belief. There are no bad boys. There is only bad environment, bad training, bad example, and bad thinking. An
Omaha-based organization's working on a film about the founder of Boys Town, specifically his advocacy for children who committed very serious crimes and could have faced the death penalty.
Yeah, so what inspired this project? Nick Royer is here to explain. Good to see you, Nick.
It's nice to meet you.
It's a really cool project that you guys have going on. So how did this get started?
Well, I think it all started with just kind of looking at what stories could we tell. We wanted to create a Christian film organization that was nonprofit, which is unique in the industry. And so we started to look at projects that could work for us, and Father Flanagan was right down the street and was a great story.
As you were researching him, this aspect of his life and his work stood out to you. Why?
Right. Well, because I think everybody knows about Flanagan's work with orphans, but lesser known is his work with children who had committed these serious crimes. In his ministry, Flanagan brought over 100 boys who had committed murder to Boys Town, and many of them would have faced the death penalty under the laws of the time. And that was a very controversial viewpoint to have at that point, but Flanagan truly believed that, you know, that these boys needed help, and he was willing to fight for them.
And I know the concept of creating this Boys Town, you know, 10 miles west of Omaha at that time, didn't have the full support of everybody in the community, even the diocese. So what kept pushing him to continue to do that?
I think ultimately it was his faith. You know, he had a strong belief that this is how he wanted to show the love of Jesus to these young boys, and so he didn't care if people didn't agree with him.
What kind of difference did it make in the lives of those boys? What in your research, what stood out to you with their stories?
Well, really, I think it was just the advocacy of getting them out of the situations that they were in. The whole child care system at that time was so different than what we have today. And that's in large part due to Father Flanagan. So his impact has been hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of orphans and youth throughout the years.
It's incredible. Okay, so this is a film. It's not a documentary. It's not a, you know, it's a film. So you're going to have actors. Have you cast for this thing? Where are we at in the process?
Well, we're still early in the process. We're in pre-production and fundraising for the film, and we're hoping to produce it in 2017 here in Nebraska.
What are you looking for when you cast Father Flanagan?
Well, that's a hard role. You know, Flanagan. What's interesting about Flanagan is we kind of picture him as this big hero that we've seen in the original Boys Town movies. But in reality, Flanagan was a guy who had some serious health issues throughout his life. He had a lot of struggles. And so it's kind of interesting if we can bring some of that aspect into that. That was one of the things that really stood out to me about him, was just how hard he had to fight, even against his own body, to carry out the work he wanted to do.
You know, I feel like you've got an interesting weight to manage here, to tell the story, but then to also make it entertaining without going too far away from the truth.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, we want to be true to what actually happened, and this story that we're telling is a fictional story, but it's based on a number of true cases. And then we want to, you know, use that not just to say here's what happened in the past, but to look at Flanagan as an example of faith in action.
Yeah, but it was incredible because he was an immigrant. I mean, he's Irish born in the rolling hills of Ireland and came over here. How old was he when he came to the United States?
I think in his early teens, possibly.
Yeah. And then he ended up in O'Neill, Nebraska, which is a big Irish community. And then he came to Omaha, St. Philomena Church. So it was kind of where he was placed after he was ordained, wasn't it? Right,
that's right. So he just kind of by chance ended up here in Omaha. And actually, when he was in seminary, a lot of his colleagues said that they never expected him to be anything more than a parish priest. And of course,
what happened?
Wow.
Right.
The rest is history, as they say. Our viewers might want to be part of this, since there's still some time to get in. We're showing your number and website now. What are the opportunities at this point? Is it mostly financing or casting
we're
already?
looking to, we have to raise $250,000 to do this project over the next year or so in order to make this happen. And we think that that's doable.
And you need the help. I mean, that's a lot of money, but still, that's a small budget for a film of this type.
And you know how many people here would want to be part of telling that story. So we're happy to help you get the word out about it today. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Nick.
Good to see you. Yeah, good luck. All right, you might have